Hi everyone and welcome back to the Football Tribe UG channel. Robert Kesakos is your usual suspect. Hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're having a wonderful afternoon. It's about 4 p.m. in Kampala here as I record this. But yes, I wanted us to, hop on here and have that discussion about Man City that I've been promising you over and over again. So looks like Pep Guardiola did count his losses as far as this season is concerned. Not that he has totally given up on it, but he has considered that it's not been a good season for him by any measure of standards for what he has, shown to us over the last, 15, 17 years of his coaching career, right from Barcelona through Bayern Munich, and of course, the large chunk of that being at Manchester City. So, what did he do? He has started his review early on in the project. It was the one that he had already kick-started on gradually when he brought in the likes of Jeremy Doku, when he brought in the likes of Savinho to try and, revamp his squad. Of course, the likes of Matthias Nunes did come in that frame following, I think, the departure of Ilkay Gundogan, where he did go away the other summer and spent last season at FC Barcelona before returning for this campaign. However, when he did lose Rodri to that long-term injury, the anterior cruciate ligament injury that saw him, be ruled out for the rest of the season. In their 2-2 draw against Arsenal earlier on in the season, everything went literally bonkers for Man City and for Pep Guardiola. So, on that note, therefore, he has decided that let's rebuild our squad. It's an aging squad, and that very much we do acknowledge. And on that note, he went all out, spending nearly 200 million pounds in just January, while other clubs were busy shouting, "January transfer window is tricky. You cannot. It's hard to do real business." Manchester City showed us intent that if you're intentional on doing the things you want to do, then you can really attack the January transfer window and make business. And on that note, they did go on to sign Vita Rose, the defender from Palmeiras. They went on to sign Nico Gonzalez from FC Porto, he's a holding midfielder. They went on to sign Omar Mamouche. They went on to sign Koshenov, who both players in that is Koshenov and Omar Mamouche have really already shown us signs of their brilliancy. Omar Mamouche scoring a hat-trick against Newcastle recently. So, that's just incredible. It looks like things are clicking. It could be the new Riyad Mahrez for this Manchester City side. Excuse me. So it could be that a player. And then add those to Jeremy Doku, to Savinho, to Matthias Nunes, and, the rebuild could be well on. Now, in that respect, it's come to light that a lot of players will be leaving the club in the summer, and these are senior players that have won it all as far as Manchester City is concerned, winning the many Premier League titles with the club, winning the UEFA Champions League, the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, name it all. So clearly, I do not think there's really much they can ask out from them. And these players do include Ilkay Gundogan, who just returned from Barcelona uh, after that season in Spain. Kevin De Bruyne, who is in the evening of his career, has been troubled with injuries and is not the KDB that we did watch a couple of seasons, 2, 3 seasons ago. And then John Stones, defender, remember they did sign this one for about £15 million from Everton at the time. But his career in general suffered so many injuries, but nonetheless, he's made his mark as far as the English Premier League is concerned and football in general. Kai Walker, this one is already out. He was the captain of the team. He has since joined AC Milan on loan for the rest of the season with an option, but not an obligation, from what I gather, to buy him for about £4.2 million should he impress in the Italian Serie A there, and that should they wish to keep him. The other player is Bernardo Silva. This one for long had been quoted by clubs like Paris Saint-Germain, although Manchester City decided to keep a hold of him at the time. So could be one of those that could be heading out in the summer. Then Jack Grealish signed for about £100 million from Aston Villa. He's not had the impact that we had all hoped he would have. He not have. I do not think he's had half the impact on Man City that he did have on Aston Villa at the time before leaving to join the Citizens. And then, of course, Mateo Kovacic signed about what 2 seasons ago from Chelsea. He's had his impact. They did win the league last season, so he can't cry foul play and anything like that. But he could be one of those that could potentially face the exit at Manchester City. Although my personal gut feeling is that they could keep a hold of Kovacic for another year as they try to as Rodri returns to full fitness and all that, and then let's see which other player they can sign to add on. So it looks like Pep Guardiola has already started his review. He's already identified the kinds of players that could leave the club. He's acknowledged it that they no longer have the physical strength to meet the demands of playing every after 2 days in the Premier League, given that you play the Premier League, the FA Cup comes around, the UEFA Champions League, and all those commitments, as we know them, that oftentimes you're playing 3 games in a week, especially once the UEFA Champions League starts, and things of that kind of nature. So clearly, those players, John Stones, KDB, Bernardo Silva, Ilkay Gundogan, and then Jack Grealish. The other player that we cannot forget to mention is Ederson Morales. Rumors were already on last summer that he could potentially leave the club. He ended up staying. There was a lot of interest from Saudi Pro League clubs, but he did not make that move. And chances are he will make that move this summer should those suitors in the Saudi Pro League reinvigorate their interest in the Brazilian international. Will Stefan Ortega leave the club? I think he will be kept around as they sign a new goalkeeper. He will keep around either as the number one or as the backup for whichever goalkeeper they may sign as their number one. I wouldn't be surprised if they did go out and fight for Joan Garcia of Espanyol. I really wouldn't be surprised if they did go for that one and things of that kind. But anyways, do let me know what your thoughts are. Is Pep Guardiola the right person for the job? I do not think there's any better manager that you could bring to have your team rebuilt than Pep Guardiola. I do think that if Man City, as is their desire, that to go on with that winning culture, that fancy football, if they are to progress with that even beyond the Pep Guardiola, era, then they ought to start the rebuild with Pep Guardiola himself as they scan around for the perfect replacement for the Spanish manager. Of course, time gone by, names like Mikel Arteta, Enzo Maresca, both who have worked under the Pep Guardiola as part of his coaching staff, have been mentioned in that, breadth of strength. But we'll wait to see what the future does hold to either of them and the club as well. None of them has lifted major silverware, but Enzo Maresca guiding Leicester out of the UEFA, the Sky Championship last season and lifting that title. In regards to major titles, we're talking about Champions League, Premier League. None of them has lifted that. Mikel Arteta only has an FA and a couple of charity shields to his name and that kind of thing. So for me, I think with of course this is he does have a year left to his contract. I think that's Pep Guardiola. He did renew his contract for 2 years. I think we're at the start of this season or somewhere in between there. So you would expect that he will be the perfect guy to identify the right players that suit a Man City side, a Man City system, a Man City culture and style of play to come and start that rebuild and hope that they can find the perfect replacement the way Liverpool did when Jurgen Klopp left and they identified Anna Slot, who is doing wonders at the moment at Anfield. So that's what I had for you. Those are my thoughts on Manchester City. Do let me know if you have any views to add on. If you disagree, if you agree, put down your views down in the comment section. Do not forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, stay blessed and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.